She stood tall in her beige suit, hands steady as she slid the papers across the table. "Your Honor," she began, her voice smooth, dripping with righteousness and false virtue. "I raised him, fed him, clothed her, sheltered her after his mother died. I itemized everything, $50,000. The judge took the stapled packet, adjusted his glasses, and began to read. The courtroom fell still. Every cough, every shuffle, every flicker of breath seemed to vanish. My aunt's lips curved into a gentle smile, the performance of a saint who had sacrificed everything. The people in the courtroom saw a guardian, a woman who had given her life for a child not her own. But I knew better. I sat quietly, my hands folded in my lap, because this was the moment I had built for years, brick by brick, lie by lie, truth by truth. The judge's brow furrowed as he flipped through the pages. His expression changed, calm to puzzled, puzzled to stern. And then his voice, steady but cutting, sliced through the silence. "Where," he asked slowly, "is the $190,000 in Social Security survivors' benefits you collected on his behalf?" The air cracked open, gasps, whispers, a nervous laugh from somewhere in the back. My aunt's smile disappeared, color draining from her face like ink in water. Her lips parted, but nothing came out. The entire courtroom turned toward her, and for once in her life she had no words to twist, no tears to summon. That was when I leaned forward. Calm, collected, ready. "Your Honor," I said, "may I speak? When my mother died, I was 9. I remember the white walls of the hospital, the beeping of machines that never stopped, the way her hand felt warm one moment and cold the next. I remember the silence when her heart stopped beating. My aunt came within days, papers ready. Voice full of sympathy. Family takes care of family," she told me, and I believed her because I had no one else to believe. She gave me a room, meals, rules, a roof over my head. From the outside it looked like love, but inside those walls I learned what it really meant to owe someone everything. Gratitude became a weapon. Every meal came with a reminder, every gift was a debt. "You owe me," she'd say. "I didn't have to do this for you." And I would nod because I thought maybe she was right. I thought love was something you had to repay. But while she demanded gratitude, she was collecting something else, money that wasn't hers. The first clue came when I was 16. I needed my birth certificate for a summer job. She stalled, said she misplaced it. Weeks passed. One afternoon, when she went to a neighbor's barbecue, I searched her desk. That's when I found them, letters, thick envelopes, government seals, all unopened. They were from the Social Security Administration. My name, her address. I opened one, then another, then 10 more. Numbers I didn't understand filled the page, but I understood enough to know that someone was getting money meant for me. Survivor benefits, checks issued in my name for the loss of my mother. Checks I never saw. She spent it on mortgage payments, on vacations, on furniture, on herself. All the while she told me I was a burden she carried out of love. The betrayal wasn't an accident, it was designed. She hadn't taken me in to care for me. She'd taken me in to cash in. I didn't confront her, I smiled, I obeyed, I thanked her every time she demanded it, but I started keeping track. I began building a file, quietly, carefully. Every letter I found, every record, every hint of the truth went into a folder. I kept it hidden for years. When I turned 18, I went to the Social Security office myself. I asked for a full record of the payments made under my name. The woman behind the counter handed me a printout. I read the numbers again and again, hoping I was wrong. $190,000. Gone. I walked out into the parking lot and sat in my car for hours. I wanted to scream. I wanted to make her feel the years she had stolen from me, but I didn't, because revenge without proof is just noise. So I got smart. I studied her, watched how she moved, how she lived off her reputation. She loved attention, loved praise. She bragged about her sacrifice, about how she'd saved me. People believed her, teachers, neighbors, even some of my friends. They saw a woman who gave up her life for her sister's orphan child. I saw the truth, a thief hiding behind sympathy. So I let her keep the mask, I let her talk, I let her believe she won. And while she played her part, I played mine. I got a lawyer, I handed him everything, the letters, the payment history, the proof of every dollar she took. We worked quietly, patiently. It took months to gather every piece. We didn't make a move until there was no hole left in the story, no defense she could invent. Then we waited until she made the mistake I knew she would. Until she filed that lawsuit against me, demanding $50,000 for raising me. $50,000 for what she called her sacrifice. She wrote it all down like a business transaction. Food 15,000, clothes 10, shelter 25. It was audacious, insulting, perfect. Because now everything was on record. The judge read it, his eyes narrowing. Then came the question that ended her charade: "Where's the rest of the money?" Her silence was louder than any scream. I stood, my legs were steady. "Yes, Your Honor," I said, "I would like to respond." And I told the story not to gain pity but to expose her, how every kindness came with a price, how she turned grief into profit. I laid the documents on the table, proof that every dollar meant for me had been stolen. The room listened. You could hear the air shift. "She didn't raise me out of love," I said quietly. "She raised her bank account, and when the money stopped, she came for more." The courtroom was frozen. My aunt's hands trembled, her lips quivered, but the lies died on her tongue. For the first time, she couldn't twist the truth. The judge's verdict came like thunder: guilty, misappropriation, fraud, perjury, restitution ordered, legal penalties imposed. But the true punishment wasn't the fine. It was the look on her face when the people she had fooled for years turned away. The same neighbors who once praised her now whispered in disgust. Her empire of pity collapsed in a single afternoon. She shrank in her seat, her beige suit suddenly looking too big for the woman inside it. And I finally breathed. I walked out of that courthouse lighter than I'd ever been. The sun felt warmer, the air felt cleaner, not because I had won the case but because I had reclaimed my story. For years, she told me I owed her everything. But now she owed me every dollar, every year, every ounce of peace she stole. I didn't just survive her, I dismantled her illusion, and in doing so, I freed myself. If you've ever been underestimated, if someone stolen your voice, your worth, or your story, listen to me now. Don't let them write your ending. People will lie. They'll build entire lives out of your silence. The moment you choose to speak, to stand, to fight back with truth, everything changes. The same lies that used to bury you will become the evidence that saves you. You are not powerless. You are not what they say you are. You are what you prove them wrong to be. And if the story struck something inside you, don't scroll past it. Hit subscribe, share this video, and stand with those who refuse to stay quiet. Because somewhere out there, another person is living under someone else's lies, thinking they have no way out. Show them they do, because the truth doesn't just set you free, it destroys the cages built from deceit. So take back your story, let the world hear your truth, and never ever apologize for surviving.